All right. Hey guys, Brad here with your Elliott Wave update. It is Wednesday. Let's take a look at the usual suspects, starting with crude oil, gold, silver, and a few currency pairs. All right. I really want to take this quick moment to say thank you to you guys who've been buying me coffee, man. I can't tell you how happy that makes me. Derek, you're the man. Appreciate it. Mary, Robert, Kim. Of course, Kim's been a longtime supporter of my YouTube channel. Thank you, Kim. Peter, Gulam. There's so many folks buying me coffee. I'm all caffeinated, man. Keeps me going. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. All right, let's dive into the crude oil chart. All right, so daily, I don't want to repeat myself much, but this daily chart, I hardly touch it. You got a very large degree 1-2 in place, and I think what's happening is it's moving in threes, so as in diagonal. So this wave 3 that I'm looking for should be composed of an ABC. We've got the A, we've got the B, and maybe we have a 1-2 here. It's getting a little bit more complex because of today's massive green daily candle. Let's take a look at the lower time frame. Now, here is where we have something. I find these parameters on the 4-hour to be much more helpful. The daily is good to get to the lay of the land, but the 4-hour is fantastic for parameters using Elliott Wave. So look at where price is. It's hanging out right at the 618. Okay, it came right up from this low, is a head fake, broke this low that it couldn't break for like all of last week, more or less, and then it finally broke it yesterday in the morning, and then look what it did, just massive reversal, stopping out all the folks who got short in here. In the Professor Trades Club, we were looking for shorts here. It's come up a bit more. So now what I ended up doing myself is stopping in and out, scalping in and out. I saved myself from being nimble and scalping, following the Professor Trades ideas, which is when you get 20 or 30 pips, take the daggone gains. So I was able to do just that a couple of times in here. But now what I'm doing, earlier in the afternoon, I shorted again up here. And my thinking is simply, if nothing else, this needs a pullback. This does kind of look like 5 waves to me. You can see that just with the eye. It doesn't measure well, but at this nanoscale on an 8-minute chart, you're going to find it doesn't measure well quite often. It always surprises me when it does measure well, but at this scale, anything can happen. So that's why I always zoom out, look at the 4-hour for parameters. Okay, so keep in mind, we are in an area where you would typically see some kind of rejection, combined with the fact that this could very well be 5 up. And just so you know exactly what I'm talking about, I'm just going to throw some labels on here without regard to whatever degree I'm looking at. But this is, to me, looks like a 5-wave structure. Now, the thing is, what does that mean? Does that mean we're beginning a new trend? I don't think so. There's a couple different things this could be. One thing that it could be is a C wave, meaning this is the new wave 1 right here at this low. Here, let me label it this way so you understand what I'm saying. This could be an ABC, really, for a wave 2. In other words, this is wave 1, which is clearly a diagonal to here. And then wave 2 is in 3 waves with the 5-wave structure occupying the C wave position, which makes perfect sense. So that means a pullback should happen from this area. And that's why I stopped out and ended up scalping long in here. And then I scalped short. Then I covered. I took the gains quickly. We kind of recovered my initial loss from being short in here and taking heat. And then ended up shorting on that second move up earlier this afternoon. So that is what I'm seeing right here, 5-wave structure. Now, what else could be a 5-wave structure? It could be an A wave. So now this will make your head explode. But either way, I'm looking for a pullback. So If this is not what I just put up there, meaning it could be something else, an alternative would be in 5 waves, that could be an A wave. Then you're still going to get a deep correction, back test this pivot again, and then another shove up for, guess what? It's still another 1, 2. So either this is the 1, 2 here, which I just showed you is the wave 1, and then A, B, C, because that 5 wave move should be in the C position. And if that's not what it is, then it could be an A wave. The reason I'm not looking for that to be 5 up is this is not a logical place for this to bottom. And the way this wave structure looks in here, this is not the area or the type of structure I'm looking for a meaningful lasting low. So when you see 5 waves up, normally you'd be like, oh, this is the beginning of a new trend much higher. But just based on everything I just said, I don't think that's what it is. So there's 2 remaining options. Either one requires a pullback. So that is why I am short again. And that's what I'll be looking for, is for price to come down into here. And as usual, I'll be taking some gains quickly so that if it comes back up against me, at least I've softened the pain of taking heat or even stopping out at a loss, because at least I booked some gains, which will make the loss smaller. Small losses, okay, no problem. Big, huge losses, big problem. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking on oil. Now let's look at gold. Let's move along to gold. Daily chart. Actually, did I give you parameters? I mean, I don't really need to give you parameters, right? You don't want to see above the last high. Okay, I'm back to oil real quick. The parameters are, you don't want to see above the last high if you're short. You do not want to see above the last high. And if you're looking for a target for a B wave, I'm going to use the mag, and I'm kind of retentive about trying to get it exactly right, because the Elliott wave does count every penny, unlike a lot of other methods. Okay, 70.23 was the high. So I'm going to put, and by the way, forget my timing right now. I'm just showing you structure. And then I have a default template for B waves, because they typically come down to at least the 618 B waves. And you can see by eye, I just put that down here. But the timing, who knows? I mean, it could be, I actually don't mind the idea of tomorrow just being a big old fat bloody red day. But I will be taking some gains quickly, and then with any luck, we'll see some momentum. B waves are very difficult because they tend to be weird structures. Yeah, sometimes it could be a 3-wave structure. I've seen B waves as a 5-wave structure. And my favorite is when a B wave has horrible structure that is indiscernible. I actually like that, because in itself, that's a clue. That's a clue that it's a B wave if the structure is weird and janky. So anyway, that's your parameter. That high right there, 70.24. And then a reasonable target would be the 618. But I'm going to be taking some gains if it comes down towards 60, 69, 69. Cool. All right, so now let's move on to gold, looking at the daily chart. This is what we've been looking for quite a while, right? Like, I don't know, a year. This is the daily chart. Came up into the box, boom, got the A wave, bam, got a B wave. And then now the $1 million question is this the wave 1 of C of 4? This is the primary idea that I'm looking for. A, B, C. We are maybe in C wave now. So let's drill down to a lower time frame, looking at the 4-hour. Now you can see why this is difficult. Maybe we have 5 waves down for wave 1 of C, and then you have a 3-wave bounce up to here, which could be considered an ABC for wave 2 of C. But the issue is, it started off looking really nice, and we had some shorts over here. I took gains on the way back up, and then I played around with it in here, and I eventually went flat. I am actually flat gold. What I don't like is, if this was really the ABC up to the 50% fib for a wave 2, it really got rejected very nicely. And you even have kind of a fat red 4-hour candle right here. But what I don't like is it came back and basically retraced back above the 4-hour candle. Me no likey. Don't like the action. I don't like the price action. So, but who cares what I like? Parameters. I will short gold again if it can come back up here. If I see it when it gets back up here, call it the 618 or even slightly above it, because this is overlapping and corrective. So if it can just come up, I'm not going to think, oh, the bottom is in and this is going higher now. I'm not going to be thinking, I mean, could that happen? Of course that could happen, but I'm not thinking that's what's going to happen. This looks impulsive to the upside. This looks like the initiation move to the downside. And this looks like an overlapping corrective wave that is now a little bit more complex than I wish it were. And you can really see the complexity here because, a standard 3-wave move should have come up higher into these fibs. Now, because this did measure in 3 waves, A, B, C, and you can clearly, this is not really beautiful for a C wave. This is clearly in 3 waves. And this could be 3 waves too. A, B, C, and then A, B, C. But the point is, if this is a C wave, I don't like this as a C wave. It's indiscernible. And also, I don't like the overall structure of this entire region. That's why I'm not in the trade right now. I'm just sitting it out. So I would prefer to see. Actually, this is still almost the same measurements. Look, watch this. So if this is going to come back up again, let me adjust this. If that's an A wave to there, and then this is a B wave to that low there, let's just call it 2644.50. I only got to adjust that by 40 cents. It's pretty much the same measurements as I had before. So this is the idea. Actually, let's see, where does that 618 come in at? 2678. 2678 is going to be below that 100 fib. So 2704 would be like, let's see what fib that would be. 2704. Yeah, so it would get back above the 764. Wow, could it really come all the way up to there? Yeah, it really could. It could. And that'll just give you a better short entry. Okay. So I'm doing nothing with gold, but that's my thinking. So if you are short, I suppose a decent stop would be, where this originated from, that last swing high right up here, which is just call it 2664. If you're short, you don't want to see it, because if it comes above there, my idea is that it's going to keep coming. Okay, just because the fibs suggest that. I'm not just saying that because I have some random idea. I'm almost entirely based on Fibonacci and Elliott wave. The structure of price combined with Fibonacci. Probably why me and the professor are like peanut butter and jelly, because I know he's all about the fibs as well. So am I. So there you go. So I think it comes up higher. Look, and if you're short and you come down and it makes a new low, you could be onto something there, because the target is going to be much lower. So I won't even get into a target. I mean, an initial target, a basic target, is just call it 2570. 2570. Plenty of meat on this bone. 80 points, 90 points, but I would rather short it from higher. Okay, so that is gold. Now, for a change, silver has treated us very well. Me and a couple of guys in the Professor Trades room, Frank, yeah, my man Frank, we were on this thing, got long silver based on the clues that we discerned from this pullback down into the low the other day, and like the structure, got long. And then what I said is we're going to add, and that's what we did. When it pulled back, we added over here. Now, for fun, sometimes I make these squiggly lines by hand just to see how price follows it. What I notice is, watch this, if I move this over, I didn't move it up and down, I just moved it left, right. You can see that I had the right idea. You get these moves, you get these pumps up with these pullbacks, and you get a nice wave 3 internally, and then you get a wave 4 pullback. Now, this was some whipsaw here, but it's following the move up, because this is my target, the 1618 at 31.79. It's just kind of fun when you can kind of get it right, even if you don't get the timing right. If you can get the general structure right, that's really the best you're ever going to do. So, we did add where I was looking to add. Now, here I added over here because it was hitting this move over here. but I added over here. So I still got my add in, even though it wasn't really where this illustration suggests. So okay, that's just really kind of some guidance for my buddies that we're trading with inside of the Professor Trades Club. But let me give you some parameters. So if you're long, you do not want to see this come back below this pivot, really 31.13. Do not want to see it. That's what my stop is, just below here. Okay, on the whole thing, because I've got a rather overweight position, but I'm wildly green. So even if it comes all the way back down, and if I look before I go to bed tonight, if it's way down here, I don't know, I might just start peeling some off. Maybe not though, because my expectation is that it's going to finish this off. That internally, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 3, and there's also this ratio box does like the idea of this being a fifth wave of 3. So I'm going to, if anything, if I'm feeling a little gun shy or insecure about holding this for so long, I'm going to take it off at 31.66, like half of it. And then, raise my stop to like maybe below this structure. If it doesn't make a new low locally from here, if it doesn't make a new low locally from here, I will take off half at 31.66. And then I would look to take the rest off up here at the top of that zone, or at the 1618, 31.79. That is the deal with silver. And the way I'm counting this, just so you know, I'm looking as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And really, all of this 5-wave structure that I'm looking for here, all that's going to do is get you up into here. It's really just this thing. If this makes it all the way up to 33 and then gets a pullback, I'm going to buy the pullback again. I'm going to be out of everything at this 1618, because that should produce a rather clear 3-wave pullback. And I'll measure for this. If you're in the room, you're going to get guidance on this, so don't worry about it. If you're not in the room, if you're an LA wave guy, you already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to measure for a wave 4 to get long again. But really, all of this does is give us one completed large 5-wave structure, which all that's going to do is encourage us to look. If the low is really in and we get 5 up, then this is the 4 in silver over here. And wave 5 is like way up here. So that is what, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself and make it crazy, because those pie in the sky targets, we don't need to talk about those right now. We're just keeping it simple, like really simple, and just protect gains and see if this can follow the Elliott wave path, okay, to 31.79. And we do not want to see it below 31.13. All right, so that's silver. Actually, let me take this moment real quick to say, if you like the value, if you're getting some value and you're not in the Professor Trades room, by the way, what is the Professor Trades about? It's Armando, my guy, Armando. I've been in the room for almost a year. I can't wait to celebrate 1 year with Armando. The description, the link to that club is in the description of this video. For less than $1 a day, you can come in there and get your mindset revamped, get your trading psychology straightened out. That's really the best way to say what's happening in the room. Simple concepts and ideas. Scalping, day trading, not big investing, not swing trades, not stocks, indices, commodities, futures, and currency pairs. All right, so check out the room, the Professor Trades. The link is in the thing. Drop a like on my channel, subscribe so you'll be sure to get notified of these videos if you're getting the value. If you got questions, drop them in the comment section. I will reply. All right, let's get back and hop over to the dollar and look at a couple of currencies, and then I got to get out of here and pick up the kids. All right, dollar, came down to this 100 fib and is bouncing. 1, 2, 3. It's overlapping itself. No big deal. The dollar, it's indecisive right now. It's literally in the middle. My parameter for the dollar is above 107.13. It's possible that this is the finished structure down here, but I don't think so, just because of where this bottomed. It's a diagonal looking now. Could be a diagonal, which means this wave 4 is complete. If it is a diagonal, this should not come back up anymore. That should be it for wave 4. I want to see it come down. I do not want to see it keep coming, but hey, it's not up to me. So If the dollar gets above 107.13, I think it's more likely that we're going to come back up into this zone over here for more dollar strength over the next few weeks. But if this fails in here soon, needs to fail like soon and come down in something that looks like a third wave. So the dollar should reverse strongly. If it's going to do this and get down here, it should reverse strongly. Also, if it's a diagonal, it could be 3 down for wave 1. You're going to get wave 2, and then wave 3 will also be 3 waves. But either the A wave or the C wave, we're going to know when those waves are in action, because they tend to be crash-like, more the C wave than the A wave. But anyways, you'll get the guidance inside of the room. But that's the parameters, 107.13 to the upside, and we really need to see this get back down quickly soon below the 106 level. And really the target is down here, making a new nominal low for a fifth wave. And then the dollar can bounce, and we'll discern what's going on with the dollar after that bounce, because what I'm looking for is that bounce being wave 2 of C with a whole lot of dollar weakness in the future. But hey, it's not up to me. Whatever happens, we're gonna have a good handle on it. So for right now, this is what we're doing. This is where we're looking. So let's just move on to EU. Of course, this is related to the dollar, obviously. At the moment, I'm thinking this could come down. It's a little unclear, but I'm scalping. You can see this trade I have on, a short trade. Just trying to grab a few pips. If this just comes down even a little bit more, that'd be great. Ideally, it could come all the way down to here and not ruin this structure at all. The question is wave 4 done or not? It's going to come down one more go. Whatever happens with the dollar is going to determine largely what happens right here. But these are the parameters, 1.06 to the upside. And if it wants to keep coming, I believe this is where it could come to. We'll measure. We'll have a better idea. Is the target down here? Is the target up here? For right now, this is just a placeholder to remind me of the idea. Looking at EJ real quick. Wow, look at this. Because this broke this support, I took off my shorts way too early on this one. But I will long it if it comes down into here. EJ. I will long it if it comes down into there. Now, GJ, I already did long it. I've taken some heat, but because I start so small with currency swing trades, I'm small enough that I kept adding. So my cost basis has come down. So I'm not actually taking that much heat right now. I'm just risking more. But the idea is that this needs to bounce. And these are definitely fibs that should produce a bounce. Either one of these two fibs should produce a bounce. So that's the deal with GJ. What else do I got up here? Some of these I don't follow too terribly closely. Well, that's just the longer term chart on the UJ. Now, this has caught support down here where this question mark got answered. Sometimes I put a question mark on my chart and it got answered. So, this is a reasonable place to see a bounce from. And actually, it is bouncing. So, the way I'm viewing this, I don't want to say too much other than it should bounce. I need to get in here and take more measurements and look at the longer time frame before giving any additional guidance. But this is the longer term view right here, is that if it's a 3-wave move down, or if this is a 1-2, or if this is an AB, this is the minimum that you should see is down here. If it's a 1-2, then it's going to come even deeper. So, but my point is, either way, there is potential for this, depending on what the dollar does, depending on what's going on, for this to just really keep coming. Could it get, nominal? Could it come back up nominally? Of course it can. So we stick to this lower time frame for the guidance. All right. That's pretty much the deal. I'm going to keep it brief because it's Wednesday. I got to go pick up the kids. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. Love the likes. Love the subscription. And whatever you do, man, if you're new and you're listening to this and you're getting the value and you're seeing what we're doing here just in this little brief video, come in and join the Professor Trades Club. Right now, you're getting his stuff for less than $1 a day, and you're getting this Elliott Wave updates on all these instruments for free, just included in the deal. It's not going to be that way forever. So come in now while you can for less than $1 a day and get massive value. And by the way, check out the Professor Trades YouTube channel and get insane massive value for free $99. Yep. You go check out the Professor Trades YouTube channel. Actually, I think it's linked to my YouTube channel. If I'm not mistaken, check it out. It's linked. If it's not, I'm going to link it. If it's not, I'm going to start making sure that that's linked. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for the coffee. The link for the coffee is also in the description. Woo woo. See you guys in the room. Bye-bye.